Bleacher Report says the Browns have done all the right things in the offseason. What do you think? Let's take a look at some of the things that they have done. There you have it right there. Well, first of all, they fired Freddie-Kitchens. That's a good move, right?
Yes.
And John Dorsey gone also. We continue on. Of course, they hired kevin-stefanski and also andrew-billings as the general manager. That's the second thing they did right. Third thing, the Browns, what did they do? Well, they signed jack-conklin to upgrade the offensive line. I just found this out today. Maybe you knew this, D-Man. He played at Michigan State. He was a walk-on. How about that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't either, but now I do know it. Let's see what else the Browns have done correctly in the offseason. Well, they signed the Pro Bowl tight end, Austin Hooper. That's a good move there. He's the highest paid tight end in the NFL right now. And finally, the fifth thing that they did is coming up shortly. There you go. They added cheap talent. Well, inexpensive talent.
Inexpensive, yeah.
Yeah, not cheap. You don't want to call them cheap. But I'll tell you what, you get some good talent and don't have to pay all that much. That's a double dipping.
Yeah, Les, let me just take issue with you slightly on number 2.
Okay.
I'm sticking with my stance that I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe, as it were. I'm not going to be giving A-pluses for pressers. I don't know that we can say that the hiring of Berry and Stefanski are good move or is a good move together until we see the results on the field. I do agree that they needed to get rid of Kitchens, but it's going to remain to be seen whether this new group is good or not. I don't think you could say right now that it is a success because they haven't proven a thing.
Right, and they have to change over the offense and defense with the new staff and the new schemes and all that. So you're right. I think you have to wait a little longer on Berry than you do. I think you'll see it a little quicker on Stefanski than you will with Berry.
Sure, Les, but I think for both men, we've talked about this on previous shows, there's no luxury, there's no easing into this job. I think they need to win right away. I mean, Berry might try to say, hey, I need a couple of years to get this thing right. I'm not buying it. I think they've got to win in 2020 or else the clock's ticking on them in 2021. Why do I say that? Because of the Haslam DNA.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the defensive comparisons. You talk about the contracts and what they did. You see the top 3, Browns no longer with the team, and you see what their new contract is and which team they will be playing for. Then the Browns get Andrew-Billings. They also get Kevin Johnson and karl-joseph. And so you see those 3 one-year deals. That's kind of unusual to get 3 one-year deals with guys who will, if they don't start, they will be frequent contributors to the team. And that's what they got right now. So part of the deal being a GM is not just to check out talent, but you better know what you're doing as far as cap space is concerned.
Right, and I understand the point there, but also you got to remember B.J. Goodson coming on board as a linebacker, but I know that's not the 1 year under 3.5 situation.
Right, and the Browns have the most cap space in the offseason here. This is by SpotTrack, is SpotTrack.com that picked it up. Browns still have 48 and change, 48 million. The Jets, 38 million. Washington's 36, 35 for Houston, and Miami with 34.6. So they can still do some wheeling and dealing here. Yes,
I wouldn't say that they're done yet because they do have some room, and I can't imagine they're going to say, okay, we're good to go for training camp based on what we've done so far.
No, but my guess is that they have some additional things they can do with the draft position now that they know what they filled around the offense and defense.
Yeah, that's where the Conklin acquisition is so important, because now you feel like you can get the other tackle in the draft.
Right.
But also, Les, one guy we haven't spoken of that wasn't mentioned on the graphic is Case Keenum, an important piece as a legitimate backup to Mayfield. I think with Keenum, given his success a few years ago in Minnesota when Stefanski was there, at least if Mayfield were to go down, you wouldn't have this feeling of dread amongst the rest of the team that the season is completely lost, because Keenum is capable, and he showed it in his most complete season a few years ago. I think it was 2017
right.
with the Vikings.
And he's also smart enough to know it's not a competition between the two. He knows he's not the starter, but as you suggest, he also knows that he can step in if there's an injury, not a game-ending injury, but if Mayfield has to come out for some reason, he'll be ready. And I think that will give some confidence in the team and the fans that at least they have somebody capable of doing that.